All right, let's go meet the party panel, shall we? She's a Fox News contributor and Democratic strategist Julie Roginski, joined by Observer columnist and North Korean pop culture expert Michael Malice and National Review editor-in-chief Rich Lowry. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the party panel for the first time, Rich.
Thank you.
It's one heck of a party, as the bar in the green room would let you know. All right, trouble is brewing in the Electoral College, where if some rogue electors get their way, we could soon be swearing in John Kasich. What? A group of Democratic electors called the Hamilton electors. They can sing and dance, people in Colorado and Washington state are pushing Republicans to defect from Trump and back Kasich. They say they've already convinced one GOP elector to vote for Kasich. They've just got 36 more to go. Problem is, Kasich today tweeted that he has no interest whatsoever in any of this. If he's going to be president, he probably wants to be elected president. So President Kasich, it has quite a ring to it.
He might be more successful getting rogue electors than he was in getting Republican primary voters. So this might be the path for John Kasich. I think it's time for the left just to give it up. Stop the recounts, stop the attempted electoral coups, and accept the fact that in January, Donald Trump will be inaugurated president of the United States.
What do you think, Michael?
I thought it was supposed to be never Trump, Rich Lowry. It looks like 2017 called, huh? No, although one of the best things of the Trump campaign is that he showed huge swaths of the Democratic Party and a lot of people in the Republican Party that you don't have the clout that you think you do, and caused people to get disillusioned with politics as a whole, which is very, very healthy, which is the goal.
Is that good for the country, though? I mean, it feels good for anarcho-capitalists, but for everyone else who's, just squirrels trying to get a nut, does it make it too negative?
If the states take those nuts from one person, give it to another, that's unhealthy and it hurts everyone. So the less people look to government for the answer, the healthier it is for everyone involved. However, these faithless electors, with one exception, they're all Hillary electors. They're all coming from Hillary states that are going to be voting for Kasich. So this is another chance for her to blow it and to lose even more votes despite her not doing anything about it. This woman can't win. She blew the easiest election in history.
Kasich's going to beat her among her own electors.
He's going to beat her among her own electors, and she's the biggest calamity we've seen since that monsoon hit Southeast Asia.
I mean, at some point you kind of start to feel bad for her, because Jill Stein is arguably doing, and Michael's shaking his head vigorously, don't get whiplash. Jill Stein is arguably doing her dirty work, and Hillary Clinton's just going to lose again.
Your girl crush on Jill Stein is so unseemly, because nobody besides you loves Jill Stein, and nobody on the Democratic side loves Jill Stein.
No, I've been very hard on Jill Stein, because I think she's had an impossible task articulating what she's doing and why.
Because when
she
you go
can't even make her own case.
When you go in Russia today, that's probably not the best venue to appeal to American voters. I will say that I don't think Hillary Clinton has any interest in any of this.
Yeah.
I am out at the, I don't know where in the Kubler-Ross stage of grieving I am, where John Kasich seems appealing, but that's not going to happen.
I think you're in depression.
I'm beyond depression. I'm bargaining.
Bargaining.
I'll take Kasich. I'll take Kasich. I'll take Pence. I'll take anybody.
No, you'll take Trump and you like it.
I will not. I might take Trump. I will not like it, my friend. I will take him. I will accept it. I will never like it. I like Rich Lowry. I'm a never Trumper from day one.
If you actually voted, would you have voted for Donald Trump?
I would never vote under any circumstance. I'm being forced to. I would have voted for Hillary. Because as I wanted her to do even more of a calamity, and then she gave us a balanced budget in the 90s.
You don't vote?
I don't believe in voting. It's not a moral action, no.
That's
right. My article
That's why I prefaced it. If you actually voted, would you have voted for Trump? All right, as further proof that Trump is upending the system, his tariff plan is already ruffling some conservative feathers. As you know, the proposal would offer tax breaks to companies willing to stay in the U.S., threatening to slap a 35% tariff on companies that move overseas. It's the old carrot and stick approach. If I hear those two words used together one more time, I'm going to return them to the marital aid store. But some House Republicans are warning that the exit tax could actually cause a trade war, and they won't back him. Is this the most problematic of the new Trump proposals?
Yes. Well, we'll see what else he comes up with, but this is not a good idea. It's very unlikely to pass the House. But I think there's still a lot of House Republicans, including the guy at the top, Paul Ryan, who really thinks that Donald Trump just exists there to sign congressional Republican bills. And that's not the way it's going to work. He's going to have a huge amount of sway on the party. You already see it with a lot of Republicans endorsing this carrier deal, which they never would have done in a million years if anyone had done it other than Donald Trump, who's now the leader of their party.
Yeah, that's true. No, if President Obama had suggested doing the same thing, I think there would be quite a bit more backlash. My worry here, and I see this as sort of the natural evolution of this conversation, is that at some point we're going to see price fixing. Because if you have big tariffs on companies, you know, manufacturers, that sometimes you have to go to a factory overseas if you can't handle the volume or you can't handle the overhead, and your only other choice is to go out of business. So if you're slapped with a 35% tariff when you come back and trying to sell the stuff, it's going to affect the bottom line. There are going to be higher prices, and I don't think price fixing is out of the realm of possibility.
Well, I think the most insane part of this stuff is that it hurts the poor people the most. Like, poor people have the least opportunity to care about, you know, having a 35% increase in the price of any common day-to-day item.
Yeah.
And the same people that Trump is claiming to help are the ones who are going to have their wages effectively hurt the most. But I agree completely with Rich. I think that in many ways this is like 1981, where a lot of people in Congress didn't see it coming, and when you had that Reagan landslide, they're like, we're going to fall in line because obviously some phenomenon is going on out there, and we're going to, you know, follow the leader because we don't understand what's happening, but at least we want to get reelected.
Very, very quickly, do you see more of a parallel between Trump and Goldwater or Trump and Reagan?
Trump won. Goldwater lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were saying, like, personality-wise.
Goldwater had strong principles that he articulated and stuck to for the course of his life.
Yeah.
I don't know what Trump principles are other than make America great again, which is something everyone can agree with.
Amen.
Yes.
I love great America.
Back and laughing, and I'm laughing at you, my Republican establishment friend. I'm laughing at Paul Ryan, all these people. I can only imagine if Barack Hussein Obama or Hillary Rodham Clinton had come in and said, I think that we're going to impose a tariff on anybody. I mean, Republicans would go ballistic, and rightly so. And by the way, if I'm opening up a factory, I'm saying I'm opening it up in China from day one so that nobody's going to put a tariff on me, so that if in case I want to move it to China from the United States, you're disincentivizing people from actually creating jobs in the United States.
Or if you want to boost, just claim that you're thinking about moving and then get taxes.
Let's not use the expression going ballistic and give him ideas, okay? I'm just putting that on the table.
Oh, mercy.
That would have been a joke, except that it's really not. That's the sad part.
I don't like Chuck Schumer. I just wanted to add that. I know when we're talking about him. The panel returns a little bit later. Someone has tabulated just how much President Obama's vacations cost taxpayers. Turns out it's a lot of money. We'll tell you just how much all those golf trips have cost. No, President Obama, so well rested. His vacations may be relaxing. They're definitely not cheap. Judicial Watch obtained records showing that the first family's trip to Hawaii cost taxpayers $4.8 million last year. Part of that is, of course, understandably for security, but the hotel fee itself went for over $1 million. Some estimates have total Obama family travel expenses over the last 8 years at $85 million. That's 10 million smackaroons a year. The party panel is back to chew it over. Julia Roginski, Michael Malice, Rich Lowry. Rich, I will start with you. Do you think President-elect Trump will pay for his own vacations? Mar-a-Lago, beautiful this time of year.
No, I don't think he will. And I think it's ridiculous. We pay so much for all of this, and it's just a symptom of this imperial presidency that we have that has this entire apparatus around it that's very expensive, but we'll probably end up adding to it rather than cutting it back.
Too much security, too much Secret Service, too much protocol, too much nonsense.
What?
I've always said it, yeah.
You want Biden to be president? Look, this is the president.
I do.
Okay, well, not under these circumstances.
Not under these circumstances.
No.
This is the president. Our budget's $2 trillion, and we're arguing about $85 million.
Yeah, that's how you start. That's exactly where you start.
The presidential suite at Trump Tower, I'm sure, isn't $50 a night. The president's not spending a night in Motel 6. I don't begrudge him a penny of this.
I don't have a hard time with him spending a few grand here and there, but when you bring 800 Secret Service agents and they spend $165,000 renting cars, come on now.
I don't think it's his choice.
It's not his choice. And the travel office, which was the first
Go
thing.
to Panama City Beach, Florida.
Okay,
that's what the First Lady told people to do after the big hurricane there.
Okay, that's great. My point.
He's trying to get a travel office reference in to hit the Clintons.
Thank you, Rich gets it.
It's only been 25 years and been waiting that long.
The travel office, this is my bar mitzvah present.
Never forget.
The travel office, which was a nonpartisan bureaucrats who try to do their best job. That was the first thing Hillary Clinton went after. She ruined those guys' lives.
Yes, she did.
These are just people who are trying to make things easier for the president, and they serve with honor and distinction. And I think to criticize what they're spending is crazy.
I don't care about honor and distinction. My neighbor June June is honorable and very distinguished, but I'm not going to spend $85 million over 10 years to
That's
send
not
her
what
on
I heard
vacation.
about June. No.
That too, yeah. Those little
Well, while
caftans
you were
she wears?
visiting June, I was sitting in traffic in the Lincoln Tunnel on a Friday at 5 p.m. Or actually, I wasn't. I was watching it on TV, but a lot of people were. As Donald Trump was going to
You
New
almost
Jersey.
had the experience,
I almost
Julie.
had the
It's very
experience
close.
of sitting in traffic going to New Jersey. I've had that experience before. How much did that cost people around here for the Port Authority to be shut down so that Donald Trump can go to Bedminster?
It's going to be like the UN General Secretary.
Okay,
How
now,
much is it?
well,
How
okay.
much is it going to cost? And I don't begrudge Melania and little
Barron.
from staying in New York for the next 6 months, but how much is that going to cost the city of New York?
Well, I'm glad
Many
you
millions.
asked because
Yes.
Donald Trump's security bill, it's adding up quickly. And now NYC wants a reimbursement, according to officials here in the Big Apple. Costs $500,000 a day just to keep the president-elect, his family, and his property safe. That would mean $35 million by Inauguration Day, should the soon-to-be first family pack up and head to D.C. Michael,
Yes.
too much security.
If you look at any Twitter feed, the amount of people who are blithely talking about Trump should be shot, including people on CNN, reporters, hoping
I
that his
don't
plane goes
condone
down.
that kind of
So they are going to take every single
rubber.
precaution necessary, as well they should.
Yeah.
And everyone knows perfectly well, after Bill de Blasio stopped grieving for his hero Castro, because he did go to Cuba for his honeymoon, he's going to have plenty of reasons to blame Trump for everything that goes wrong in New York City.
Too much security.
Yes.
Too much
You know
Secret
what-
Service.
you know what
Everyone
thing I
gets a
hope-
Secret Service.
You know what I hope Trump does in the inaugural parade? Like Jimmy Carter gets out and walks at some point, just to sort of give a rude gesture to all these people
There
who
will
are
be
threatening him
there will
and
be rude
saying,
gestures
I'm
galore."
not afraid.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he will. I mean, it wouldn't
Yeah,
surprise
he
me.
stared down that guy
You know
who
why he
was
would?
that
Because
scared.
there's a lot of Secret Service protecting him. He wouldn't
Too
have
much
the
Secret
cojones to do that if he didn't, as we know from the day that somebody lunged at him on
Right.
stage and he ducked.
And he
the
stared down the guy.
The Secret Service got him out of
You
there.
know what? I
really
hope
quickly.
the first thing that Steve Mnuchin does
Yes.
when he's confirmed as Secretary of the Treasury is brings the Secret Service back to Treasury, takes it away from Homeland Security.
He'll be too busy providing tax cuts to a lot of really wealthy
From
people.
her lips to your ears. Oh, God,
He
I
wants her
hope so.
tax cut.
Yes.
Yes.
Tax cut. Tax cutty cut. Cut regulations, cut spending.
They're not going to
Anything
cut
else?
spending.
Cut everything.
Last 5 seconds, Rich Lowry. I'll give it to
I
you.
don't know. It's a pretty good 100-day agenda to take the Secret Service back where it belongs.
Amen. I'm
Yeah,
glad you
way to go.
agree
I
with
like
me.
that contract.
Psh. That was very urban. Thank you very much, Rich. Michael and Julie, a great party panel for a beautiful night. Coming up, celebrities like Madonna lined up to endorse Hillary, and they failed. Should they keep speaking out or just shut their pie holes? Charlemagne the God joins me. He's coming up next.